The Corruption and Crime Commission finds no serious misconduct by youth custodial officers in the relation to the death of Cleveland Dodd. Peter Dutton says he won't unveil the Coalition's 2030 climate target until after the next election. A vote for peace. The UN Security Council endorses Gaza's ceasefire proposal. And the community centres struggling to make ends meet, looking after WA's hungry children. Good evening, Pamela Medlin with ABC News. WA's corruption watchdog has found no serious misconduct occurred on the night Cleveland Dodd was found unconscious in his cell at the notorious Unit 18 Juvenile Justice Facility. The 16-year-old died a week after attempting to self-harm in October last year. The tragedy prompting a flurry of investigations amid concerns his death could have been prevented. The Corruption and Crime Commission is the first to report on the teenager's death, and a warning: this story contains content some viewers may find distressing. It also discusses an incident of self-harm and includes the image of an Indigenous person who has died.
He was the first child to die in WA's detention. Trapped in a cycle of destruction was how the corruption watchdog described the facility Cleveland Dodd spent his last conscious moments.
His life was lost in vain.
The Commission found the failure to uncover Cleveland's cell CCTV camera is likely to have played a significant role in his death.
The fact that the CCTV footage, the camera was covered up, meant that they were blind, and they shouldn't have allowed themselves to remain in that position.
The corruption looked at whether Unit 18 officers involved on the night he was found unresponsive had acted corruptly or committed an offence punishable by 2 years or more in jail. But it found no evidence that officers had engaged in conduct of that kind. It was satisfied that Cleveland's threats of self-harm on the night were not ignored and generally met with concern. And there was no evidence that any of the staff were derelict in their duty by watching TV or movies and not monitoring the detainees. The outcome was not one Cleveland's family had hoped for.
They expected a lot. They expected damning findings. They expected the indicting of peoples and individuals. They expected culpability. They expected justice, which they feel today has been betrayed.
The Commission did find there had been a number of policy and procedure breaches, with some setting officers up to fail. The Corrective Services Minister offered little in response.
You know that there's a coroner's inquiry on foot, and that obviously impedes the capacity to respond to specific elements of the tragedy involving Cleveland's death.
While the Department of Justice said it would carefully consider the report. Commissioner John McKechnie considered it may not answer all questions raised by the tragic death, nor satisfy those looking for quick or simple solutions. For Cleveland's family, the wait for justice continues, their hopes now resting on the upcoming second part of a coronial inquest into his death. Darina Zadvirna, ABC News.